So apparently, J.K. Rowling and Emma Watson are having a feud. J.K. Rowling, the lady that came up with Harry Potter and every spin off, and then Emma Watson, one of the people who played a character when she was a kid. Anyhow, first, this is really weird because she is still using this lady's name to have relevance in the world. Weird as heck. And I don't think that she realized how this was going to backfire on her, because the last maybe like 5-10 years, people like her and Daniel Radcliffe and a couple of others who used to be Harry Potter actors, who are basically, they owe their entire start in their careers in acting to this lady, have been trashing her, saying that she's like a homophobe or a transphobe and stuff like that because she's for women's rights. But the tables are starting to turn now in social media, popular culture for women's rights, and especially in the UK, after a bunch of laws have been overturned by the Supreme Court in the UK. And so that's what people think is happening in this situation. So basically, J.K. Rowling went out and, she's got a hard stance on women's rights and against trans rights, whatever. And she basically was on some sort of podcast and said, "Oh, I still have a lot of affection for her." And in the past, she's called her a witch and stuff like that, and a bunch of other bad things. But she says she still loves her and all this crap. And literally, this lady just tore into her. She was like, "You never had to deal with being a woman in real life." She's like, "You have always been rich, and you never had to deal with something that women." And she basically talks about how when she started writing the Harry Potter book, she was in absolute poverty, and how she wanted to protect women's rights and stuff like that. And she's like, "You, when you want to go to the bathroom, you could have a guard outside of your bathroom stall and stuff like that." And it was just really shocking. You just read everything. I think it's in the Evening Star. I'll have to see. But it's in a whole bunch of different newspapers to see how she just tears her apart. Because she basically says she's disconnected from any women. She's like an activist now. And just because how things are changing in the world, in the opinion of most people, for women's rights, she's trying to make up with her and stay relevant. And it's impossible for that to happen since Emma Watson trashed her so bad when she was younger. And like I said, none of those actors would have jobs if J.K. Rowling hadn't given them a chance, picked them to be characters from her book. So anyways, she says she'll never need a homeless shelter. She's never going to be placed in a mixed-sex public hospital ward. I was just really shocked some of the things that she says about her, like about the public bathrooms and stuff like that. Like, she has so many privileges as a super rich lady that she's never had to deal with having no rights as a woman and stuff like that. It was really interesting to hear how J.K. Rowling basically tore her apart in a nice way. And the worst part is, like, J.K. Rowling's like, this is like the same person who only a couple of years ago was like friends with people who were calling for her assassination and, just horrible things about J.K. Rowling. It's like, now you want to say that you love me. It's like crazy stuff.